Hello, hello, hello. See how that transition that quick? All right, bear with me now. Now, I think I got my live chat up. So if you are here and you want a reading, you can go ahead and hey, how you doing, Sandra Goff? If you want a reading, you can go ahead and say you want one. Much like I was doing over on Facebook, is I'm pulling from the energy of the nine, which September is a nine. Nines are karmic endings. Nines have to deal with karmic lessons. They don't necessarily have to end, but it can kind of get you in the middle of a karmic lesson. Nines are endings. Nines are the highest vibration. Um, it's the beginning of fall at the end of the month. So, it's a lot of transition energy going on in here. So, I got my chat up. I saw somebody say hi. Okay, Sandra's here and Asia's here. So I'm gonna do 10. I'll be nice. This is my first time doing this, so I'll do 10. Um, if you would like a reading, you can go ahead and say that you want one, and I'll do it. Okay, Ajna. Ajna said hi. Ajna said she want one. Anybody else that want one, I need to, you say you want to read in general, whatever. Sajira. Okay. That's two. When I get all 10, then I'm going to go ahead and do them. I don't want to start trying to read and trying to keep up with the screen. Um, yeah, let me do that. Let me just snatch this page out. Anybody else that came on that want to read, and tell me that you want to read. And I understand a couple people said hi. Okay, Ajna wants a love reading. Okay, Sandra says she wants one. Ajna wants love. Okay, I appreciate that, Rhea. I really do. That's what I'm talking about right there. See, that's energetic exchange right there. You just left from over there. You got a reading. You did not have to come over here. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Excuse my language. Y'all got to get used to me. Um, that's what I'm talking about. That's what it's supposed to be like. It ain't all about, hey, I sent you a cash app and all stuff like that. Support. I run off of energy. I like currency, don't get me wrong, but support is where it's at. Come on. These messages aren't coming back up. Okay, Phaedra wants one. Sandra, you said you want one. Asia, I seen your name on there, but I haven't seen you say that you want one. So right now I got four. I got Phaedra, Sandra, Sajira, and Ajna who wants a love reading. And now I'm trying to figure out this format. So I'm going to keep clicking this chat button down here at the bottom. Sandra wants one. Sajira wants one. Ajna wants one. Okay, Ajna, you said general, but you switched over to love, and that's fine. That's fine. I could do that. I don't know how clear my writing is or anything like that. You probably can't even see it anyway. But I was trying to put my PayPal and information and stuff on there. My Cash App information is $T Jinx TEEJINX. Asia. Okay, Asia. You want a general. Okay, so that's five. When I get to seven, I'm gonna go ahead and start because I only got seven people in here. Which matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and start. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna hold up y'all time. So Ajna, you was first, and you said you want a love reading. And I apologize. My little incense is kicking ass back over here. It smells so good too. Um, Ajna, love reading for what the vibration of nine is going to bring you. Not necessarily just the month, but that energy that's tied to that nine, that karmic energy, that ending energy. Because not all of our experiences are karmically tied on that level like we like to think it is. Sometimes you just meet people who are diversions from karma, diversions from your real experience. And that's what my energetic perspective of is. Karma is a total sum of all of your energetic experiences, and mainly the ones that count, the ones that you keep repeating cycles to get you out of, kind of like your end of cycle test. So Ajna, as far as love, the word Lord speaks towards dishonesty, communication, and praise. The word Lord is the master manipulator. The word Lord in this sense is a 43, which adds together to be a 7. 7 is your self-awareness. Self-awareness is situational, though. With this card, if you are already at a state of balance, then you can communicate clearly. But if you know you're off balance, and my throat is telling me you are, then you're not communicating clearly. So there's a bit of dishonesty on all sides is where I'm getting ready to go at with this. You got to remember, we're in the 9. I mean, we're in the 11. Basically, things that just ain't working out for us ain't working out for us. No matter how much manipulation we want to try and put into it, no matter how much life we speak into to things, people, places, if it just ain't really what's designed for us, it's not going to stay there that much longer. Additional card that I can offer you is the Lady of the Gift in reverse, and it's generosity, receiving, and withholding. And this means that you need to start holding back in more of what you're giving out. It almost feels like you're giving up too much of yourself, and you need to start doing some self-reflecting and figure out when you putting yourself in some of these situations to be manipulated, because this is the Master Manipulator card and it deals with dishonesty. But sometimes dishonesty ain't, they just out there trying to do you the dirty. Sometimes people are speaking their truth and you're being dishonest with yourself and not valuing when your intuition has said this ain't a good situation for me, or the vice versa, when you just ain't dealing with somebody honest enough and your intuition is saying this ain't a good person, I mean this ain't a good situation for me. So no matter where the dishonesty is coming from, it's you who have to use your intuition and start being the lady of the gift. You have a gift. You have a gift of intuition. You already know what you're supposed to be doing, what you ain't supposed to be doing. But sometimes it's easier for you not to look in the mirror. And you're going to need to look in the mirror and start understanding when you have to honor what you already know before you end up going through something. And Aja, I hope that made sense for you. Okay, Indigo. I see you on the list. Mystic. So Ajna, I hope that resonated for you. If it didn't, I'm apologizing up front. I'm just telling y'all, I'm reading what my intuition tells me and what I feel from the card. So if it don't resonate, really professionally as a tarot reader, I'm not trying to be funny or something, but sometimes it's deception of the soul because you haven't made it to that point to where you want to own up to what the card may be alluding to, or in some cases, being that cards speak in probability fields, it may be something that you haven't gotten to yet that, you might need to hear it now so that when you do cross that road in the next 3 weeks, it makes sense to you. So let me see what else is coming on. Mystic, I see you came on, but I don't know if you want to read. Next on the list was Sajira. Sajira, did you just have a general or want a general? If you would type yes or no. I wish they had it set up to where I could hear everybody and stuff. It just ain't working out that way. Okay, okay, a general. Mystic, I see you say you want a general too. Excuse me. Okay, so Sajira, this is for you. Let me make sure I shuffle these cards again. Okay, I got Sajira, then Sandra, then Fedra, and then Asia, then Indigo, and then Mystic. Bam. All right, let me stop showing you all the cards. All right, Sajira, this is on you, and it's just a general. The Metal King. It's funny when the same cards keep coming up, but again, I keep saying this all the time. It's because there's a connection between all of us, and we're all pretty much going down the same level of experiences, where we're pretty much having stuff pulled out away from us, or we're having shit exposed around us. And so these same word lords that are master manipulators, or this Metal King that talks about, your boundaries and not knowing when it's safe to get off the fence or when it's time to actually close that fence. So Sajira, in this sense, with this Metal King, it's a 37. Whatever you're going through, it's not going to make it to a state of completion during this month of September. But it's mainly because you haven't set the proper boundaries. You need to shield yourself, but you also need to embrace a little bit more discipline in what you're going through, or else it's going to just keep on dragging out. And it almost feels like, and I'll do you a favor, and if this is the way it's gonna go, it's just gonna go. I'm gonna throw an additional card, but it almost feels like you almost are refusing to let it go. The Shadow Queen, manipulation. The Shadow Queen deals with acquiring knowledge. Okay. Acquiring knowledge in the sense of, well, I'm not going to move on until I got all the information. Sometimes knowing the situation is over, or knowing the situation is a bad situation, is all the knowledge you need. When you sit there and you wait on people to give you the details, it's only going to hurt your ego and your soul a little bit more. It is basically sticking your hand in the fire. If you know all you need to know, then you need to quit manipulating the situation and move on. because it can make you become the shadow queen, and you're going to be real dark and in your ego, and you're going to be operating from the shadows. And the shadows is the things you're supposed to be letting go of last year. You're supposed to be doing shadow work last year so that there were no more shadows to address. But this card is saying you're not going to honor your intuition, and it's gonna mess with your foundation, and that's gonna stop you from having proper self-awareness. So again, quit manipulating the situation. If you wait no more information so that you can feel safe about making your own movements, don't do it. Don't do it, because that's going to be a sign of insecurity. And that was for Sagira. But again, if you know anything about cards, and again, like I just said before I start talking, we keep getting these same reoccurring cards because everybody going through the same thing in their own different perspectives. So if that resonated with you with what I'm saying, it's 100% legit. Hell, it resonated with me. So, and that wasn't my reading, but that's just the way shit works, is when one has an experience, there's 900 million more that's having that same experience, just with different protagonists and antagonists and everything else like that. So, Sagira, get off that fence, practice some discipline, but at the same time, stop waiting for answers that won't change the outcome in any event. And I hope that resonated. And that was for Sagira. Sandra, you're next. I don't know if you wanted a general or if you had a question. And again, I apologize. The chat comes up. Sagira, I hope that helped you. Sandra, general. There you go, Sandra Golf. There we go. Again, I do appreciate y'all. I ain't gonna say humoring, but supporting me as I transition over from Facebook to over here. That was really appreciated. It's my first time doing that, going from live over there to live over here. I like that. So, Sandra, this is a general for you. The River Queen in reverse. The River Queen in reverse for this month of September with this 9 vibration is telling you another 9 vibration. You are being placed in a state where you need to be like that river. You need to learn to go with the natural flow. You have to let things go, and you have to keep flowing, and you need to stay authentic and natural with your movements. Okay, good. So what the card breaks down for you, Sandra, is the 9 in this one is a 36. In that 3 and that 6, the 3 is basically, in this sense, normally 3s are just strictly, not gonna say strictly. 3s for me are normally communication, but they also can be triangulation in the sense of balancing your mind, body, and soul. When you can look at all 3 of those aspects and know that you're doing the right thing, that's true natural flow. I mean, even if it's like you doing something where others perceive that you're hurting them, if you know in your heart, mind, and soul, your body, mind, and soul, that it's what's best for you, can't nobody really judge you. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and try and judge you. If you think that's what's best for you, that's what you do. But you have to have that so that you can have that 6, which is a proper foundation. If you don't have that balance within your mind, body, and soul, and only you can really tell yourself that, if you're not really moving from that point to where you know this is what you need to do, you're not being authentic, and it's not going to be a natural movement, and you're going to be a river that's about to be dammed. And I do mean that in the sense of, like where the beaver's coming out there, but you can see where I'm going with it. Once they dam that damn river won't move. So if you are trying to avoid being stuck during this month, or if you're trying to get through this month without ending up being stuck at the end of the month, then you need to move naturally, and you need to just, be authentic in what you're doing. And if it just don't fit for you, just don't fit. Let things go. If you're dragging onto that rock may eventually drag you over and back into this river, and you could drown. So don't hold on to things that don't need to be held on to. It's basically what the card is saying. And I hope that resonates with you. Hey, Spirit. All right, Sandra, that was for you. Miss Fedra, it's on you. And again, if you are finding resonance with any of these readings, cool. I appreciate it. If you're finding resonance, cool. If you're not, I can apologize, but I'm not really sorry, because, I mean, all I'm doing is honoring my intuition plus what the cards are speaking as a general message. So that's just the way it goes. No mincing words with that. Again, these readings are about the month of September, being that 9 is that high vibration. Phaedra, you wanted a general? I see you put them 3 hearts up there, but do you want a general? Or do you have one about love? I mean, because if you want one about love, there you go. That's what I'm going to say. Didn't say that word love. Okay, here we go. The Keeper of the Scales in reverse. And that's the Keeper of Scales in reverse deals with fairness and balance. It's an 11. It's more of that communication, that 3. If you're communicating authentically within yourself, then it's going to bring you abundance. But if you are communicating and you're waiting on somebody else to communicate with you on a sense of fairness and balance, it's going to bring you overwhelm. It's not what's in the card for you in the month for September. You're going to have to be your own keeper of the scales. You cannot allow anybody else to hold your scales. If they've been proven to not give you balance before today, meaning all these past 8 months, they're not going to give it to you in the month of September. The only person that's going to be able to balance you at this point is you. And you're going to have to be authentic with yourself and understand that sometimes being fair and balanced is just actually, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but actually just becoming a bitch sometimes. And I say that for myself, so I'm not meaning that in any gender role or anything like that. But sometimes you got to pretty much be a bitch to people, and that's going to be what's fair because they come to a point to where they expect certain levels of energy out of you. And then that's kind of like they got that damn straw in the back of your head and they sucking all your energy out, but they ain't doing nothing to put shit back in. So if you want to be balanced, be your own balance. And the fairness is going to, you have to be fair to yourself before you be fair to anybody else. We're at a point to where we have to love us more than we love others. And it's not selfish. It's just, it just is what it is. Because can't nobody do you like you. And so I hope that resonated for you, Ms. Fedra. You're beautiful. Don't let nobody play you. And I'm not saying that, hell, that's for anybody, to include myself. We beautiful. Don't let anybody play us. All right. Asia, it's on you. And I thought you said general earlier, but I'm not sure. Cool. Asia, if you're still on, let me know whether you wanted a general or if you had a question. There you go. I appreciate that. All right. So Asia, let me shuffle these cards a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. The altar priestess, general. The altar priestess speaks towards preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. During this month of September, if you do have altars, first and foremost, they need to be cleaned off and tended to properly. And I'm not saying that you probably haven't, but it feels like they might want a little bit of extra attention because you're going to need extra attention. What I'm being led to say, and I'm going to ask for additional guidance in case it feel like it might not feel right for you. What I'm being led to say is for you to also put yourself on that altar. You need to, the parts of you that you're trying to bring to a close, as far as to make that soul growth or to make that soul release. If there's a picture of you where you were at that state of happiness that you're trying to get back to, put that on that altar. Just on the converse too, just to play devil's advocate here, or clown's advocate. If there's a picture of you when you were at your worst feeling and you're trying to get rid of that, put that on the altar too. And if you got both, put both of them on the altar. But it feels like you have to sacrifice that energy that you're trying to get back to or get away from. Yeah, Lady of the Mirror. You have to do some soul reflection right here. And it's a 44. The way that you're going to successfully get out of whatever turmoil may be around you, and sometimes turmoil is not a heavy thing. Sometimes it is. But whatever situation is going on around you, if you're trying to manifest your way out of it, you're being offered the energy of the 44. 44 is the success number. The 44 has balance on both sides. If you got balance on both sides, you can't fall. And that's why I was being led to say put that picture of your worst time on one side and that picture of that best time on the other side. And then know that you're in between, but sacrifice both them energies so nothing is blocking you on either direction. You don't want to be stuck at where you've already met. You want to be able to go beyond it. Just like you don't want to have to keep looking back and dragging that bad time with you. So sacrifice both of them energies and understand that anything that has already occurred, when you do that reflective work, it is time to not to be judged by anything. This is a karmic lesson card for you. This is a time for you to step out of the karmic field and own what you've done and own what was done to you, the whole nine. You can't change it. And even if you could, you probably shouldn't, because it made you to be more defined by who you are now. So let go of the judgment energy, get rid of what no longer serves to the rear and to the front so that you can be greater further on ahead of it. So again, if you got them two pictures, one for your bad time, one for your good time, put them on the altars. If you don't have an altar, I would say probably take those pictures and put a white candle on each one, and set them up like a corridor and just burn them. If it's pictures that you want, then make a copy of them. If it's pictures that you don't mind losing, burn that candle on them and burn them out. What you want to do with that wax, honestly, I would bury it. No, I wouldn't even bury it on my backyard. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I would take it to the crossroads and leave it on the damn western side. Break out a compass and leave it to the west and release those emotions. I wouldn't bury it in the north, which is, like your earth. I wouldn't ground it, because if you ground it, it may grow back up. But wash it away with the waters. That's what my intuition says. I hope it resonates for you. All right, so that was from Miss Asia. Then we had Indigo. Did you want a general or did you want... Damn, let me see that. Indigo, did you want a general or did you want a... Did you have a question? I hope it resonated. You're welcome. And again, I'm trying to learn how to plug myself and all that stuff. I see you got a general. If you go into my bio for this YouTube page, it has all my information in there too. Energetic exchange. You want a general. I'm trying to transition over here to YouTube and get my hours up and all that good stuff and make it do what it do. I don't mind doing free readings and things like that, but I'm trying to get at a point to where if there are going to be a lot of things that I'm doing that are time consuming, that there is a reciprocity that comes out of it. So that's why I'll be doing more stuff over here on YouTube, because YouTube got money. I like money. So Indigo, this is what's for you. Yeah, saw me shuffle the cards. I even put them up in front of there. Same thing, and I'll keep saying it again. We keep getting reoccurring cards because all of us are pretty much caught in the same energetic field of experience. This, for you, Indigo, is the keepers of the scales. It's that balance and fairness. You have to be fair in all aspects of your situation. This feels like it's not more selfish like it was for Phaedra, where it was telling her to, be more mindful of what she's calling balance. This is you need to practice awareness in the whole situation, because and I'll pull additional card for that, but it feels like there's a little bit of ego going on in there, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's I'm gonna burn you before you burn me type energy, and I want to see if that's what I'm really feeling. Yeah, the wise woman of the Wonderland, integrity and compromise. You're going to have to make some kind of compromise, because it's like once you get enough information, even if it's not all the information, you think you've had enough to balance them scales, and then you tell yourself that you're going to be fair because you're balanced and you got enough for you to move the way you want to move. But it may not be enough information that has been presented, and what was presented to you to give you balance may have actually gave you a dirty mirror, because it's going to not give you the chance to operate with integrity, and it's because you won't make a compromise. That wise woman on the Wonderland, Alice, pretty much she didn't have to go through that looking glass. That was just her ego that told her to go through there. So when you look at that mirror, and if you can see yourself clearly, that should be all the information you need. You shouldn't have to go on a wild rabbit hole chase to find everything else. You know what you're doing versus what's being done to you and all that other stuff. You need to be fair. If there's games played by all peoples on all sides, somebody got to lose. So don't get caught up on who's doing what more than the other if that situation applies to you, because if you out here playing the game that ain't got no balance in it anyway, then you can't get mad when that's exactly what it turns out to be. And I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, so I'm gonna be nice and throw you a third card, and it came up as the Whale Watcher in reverse, which again speaks towards self-awareness, and this one is a lack of self-awareness and not moving in a wise fashion, because instead of you honoring the power of the divine, you're honoring the power of ego. So be mindful of situations that may, bring you a little bit of higher energy during this month of September and have you out here imbalanced that you're going to label as balance. So again, more of that let that shit go energy, to be honest with you. Sometimes we don't need to play games with people. When we have enough information about what we need to move ahead to find our own true balance, let the rest of that shit go. I hope that resonated for you, Indigo. That was a lot of rambling going on in there, but that's what the cards were saying. If Mystic, you were next. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. I appreciate y'all when stuff resonate. I know sometimes I get to rambling and stuff, but it's just be a lot going on in these cards, and some of y'all got some pretty good energy. Some of you got some pretty good energetic experiences going on around you too. Mystic, if you're still on, do you want a general or do you want a question, or do you have a question, I should say? And I don't know if there was anybody else on after that. I did Ajna, I did Sajira, I did Sandra, I did Phaedra, I did Asia, Indigo, and I'm waiting on Mystic. Anybody else that's on that wanted a reading? Okay, there you go, Ken. You want one? I got you. Mystic, going once, going twice. Mystic, if you're still on. You know what? I'm going to do you one anyway. I'm going to do you a general. I'm not going to skip you. You might be on the phone or something. And you did say you want one, so I'm going to give you one. So, Mystic, I apologize if you had a question, but Mystic, this is a general for you. It's the Horse King. Kind of makes sense. The Horse King, stop being controlled. Stop letting people ride your back. Stop being so committed to everybody else's energy to where you pretty much are a service animal at this point. It's not a good foundation. It's the 4 and the 2, which makes a 6. But it's that 4 of you pretty much being put in a box, and that's who you think you are. Normally 4s are balanced, but in this case, this is a box. This is you have been placed in a box, and now that's all you can see is life from within the box. And that's pretty much, think about a horse. A horse wears blinders, and then he can only see where he's told to go. So, Mystic, if this applies to you, you gotta figure out where your control elements are. People who are not really offering you assistance, and this feels more familial related than anything. If you're in a family situation to where you have expectations and duties, well, people have expectations and duties for you. And they really just ain't things that you want to buy into, and you feel like it's unfair, you might want to start standing up for yourself as safely and as much as you can. And even if you ain't gonna stand up for yourself, you need to understand that can't nobody control you but you. People can attempt to control you. I mean, think about, what is it, Black Beauty? I know I'm dating myself here, but there was that movie Black Beauty when I was younger, and they tried to tame that wild stallion, and it just don't work. So stop being controlled. We're not horses. We're not designed to be here for others' abuse. Everybody got their own energetic signature where they can get up off their own damn ass and do their own work for them. If it's a family situation where it's like somebody who really needs assistance, then by all means, offer assistance, but do not give up control. Those are two different functions, and we got this shit twisted nowadays to where we think we have to submit our energy to somebody and be in service to them. We can help others without losing ourselves, and that's what the card is saying for you. Don't lose yourself as you try to assist others. That will have you controlled and in a box. If you know anything about the Sacred Clown, we don't do boxes. So get out that box. Throw that box away. All right, Mystic, that was for you. All right, Ken, you got a general, or you want to? Do you have a question? Do you want a general, or do you have a question? And again, for everybody that's still in here, I appreciate you. That was Oh, thank you. I'm glad it resonated, Mystic. All right, Ken, you say you want a general, so here we go. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll say this publicly and live. I appreciate that the donations you gave me last week when I did the Manifestation Monday. I appreciate that. That's good looking out. We got to start doing that more each other. I mean, CMB, we all we got. The Spirit Whisperer. I knew I was going to get one of these for you. The Spirit Whisperer. Divine guidance and higher knowing. It's more the same, bruh. You are who you are. You are not to be in a state of comparison of what your gifts are to others, because that stops you from seeing what your gifts truly are. It's right now the spirits are whispering you, but they want to talk to you. They don't want to whisper to you, but they have to whisper because it's so loud in there, because you have so much going on, and it's mainly in the sense of you are trying to gauge your experience level. And I don't mean just experience level as a practitioner, but I mean your experience level as a cellular being. You're trying to gauge that based off of what the primary input is from people out here. So it's more of you're taking in too much external information, and it's muddling the internal information that's already been presented to you. And so therefore you get to the point to where if you're listening more to what's going on out here, then that means what's going on inside becomes a silent whisper. And what you want to make sure that you don't happen is that that whisper goes into complete silence. And it's not that you are at the threat of going back into zombie mode and you don't hear shit, but it's they want to speak to you more thoroughly, but you need to listen more clearly. And I hope that resonates for you. And you know what? I have to help you resonate for you. The Whale Watcher, wisdom, 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 wisdom. 7, self-awareness. It's all you, baby. It's all you. Can't nobody do you but you, and give a damn who watching, who ain't watching. I'm not going to say what I want to say because I'm on live on YouTube. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not going to be raunchy, but you know what I want to say. F them, F them, F them. F them. That's all it is to them. This whale watcher, you see, you watching that whale. Remember, with a whale is deep, and in some cases, the son of a bitch is dry. Stop watching that whale and be whale watching within yourself. Divine, the power divine is already within you. You just got to embrace the wisdom. Honor my mother. I can't call her my mother. Honor my baby. Honor Oba. Okay? She is wisdom. So honor her. Hey, baby. All right. So that's what I got for you, Ken. Anybody else who's on who did not get a read and that want one, there you go. There you go. Got to cook for her tomorrow now. Anybody else that want one that's on, I appreciate it. For those of y'all who did come on, gratitude, because this probably is going to be the way I'm gonna start doing them here over the next few weeks until I, get YouTube transitioned over the way I want it to. Trying to get my hours up, trying to get my followers up. It's a broader concept and it's a more monetary beneficial system over here. So if I'm gonna do things in a free and energetic exchange capacity, then I would like to see some reciprocity. I don't think I should be, beat up about that, and I damn sure don't feel some kind of way about it. So, again, I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to my page, I would really appreciate if you subscribe. I did do the love readings the other day for September, and they included love, life, career, the whole 9. It was done from the divine feminine and divine masculine aspect, and what can help you become sacred balance, and that's when you put them both together. I'm trying to get back out here and get busy. I got my gemstone class going. A couple of my students are in here. Peace and love to you. October will be the start of my next session. If you're interested in that, you can hit me up. I do my business and everything else like that. I appreciate it. I'm trying to be out here in these spiritual streets, and I'm great, and I'm going to be great. And we all are great. And it's not a pump of ego. It's just that if you don't love you, then nobody else will. And I've been through too many situations and too many times where I thought I had to turn myself down because I know how far I can go. But no, I don't want to, rub nobody energy wrong. So no. Be who you are in full, and when you are who you are in full, divine wisdom and everything else comes into you, and then you'll know when you don't need to showboat, or you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. But you also do not need to be placed in anybody else's box. Somebody else's foolishness, and I'll say this word because I am who I am, somebody else's foolishness and fuckery is not your own. Own what you are, and just remember at the end of the day, it's all fuckery anyway. And at that, I'm getting ready to go. Peace and wholeness. I love y'all all. Watch out for me. I'll probably do this again tomorrow night. Y'all have a good evening.